Your cardinal has been at that feeder for 6 minutes. It has lifted its head 14 times. You counted 0 of them. And in 30 seconds, it will be gone. You will not see why. You will not hear why. You will not know why. Because the warning that sends it happens in a frequency, a speed, and a language that your senses were never designed to detect. Your yard is not a quiet place. It is one of the busiest intelligence operations you have ever been standing next to. And every bird in it, the cardinal, the chickadee, the crow on the fence at the back, has been running a surveillance system so sophisticated that researchers spent decades trying to fully document it. Here is the question nobody asks. If your birds can detect a predator in under 150 milliseconds, faster than a human blink, what else have they been detecting that you never knew about? Stay until the end, because the answer to that question is the part that changes everything. Before we go any further, has a hawk ever struck in your yard? Or have you stepped outside and found every bird had simply vanished, with no explanation at all? Drop it in the comments right now. What happened? What did you see first? I read every single one. And if you are new here, this is Secret Bird Mind. Every week we go inside the hidden biology, behavior, and science of the birds living right outside your window. Subscribe now, because what we are covering today is one of the most requested topics this channel has ever received. Most people think their yard is a quiet place. It is not. Every bird you see from your window is running a continuous threat assessment right now, in real time. Without stopping, the cardinal at your feeder is not just eating. It lifts its head every few seconds, scans the tree line, checks the sky above, returns to eating, lifts its head again. This is not random nervous behavior. This is a precise pattern called vigilance cycling, documented in research on northern cardinal foraging behavior at Cornell Lab of Ornithology. The rate at which a cardinal lifts its head changes based on exactly how safe it believes the environment is. More head lifts, more threat perceived. Fewer head lifts, safer it feels. Your cardinal has been giving you a real-time threat assessment every single morning. You just did not know how to read it. But the cardinal is only one layer of this system. And what the chickadee above it is doing is something completely different. The chickadee on the branch above your feeder is not just watching. It is listening, processing, classifying. Research published in the journal Animal Behavior has documented that black-capped chickadees can detect and classify aerial predators in under 150 milliseconds. It's 150 milliseconds. Faster than a human blink. Faster than your brain can register that something moved. And in that 150 milliseconds, the chickadee does not just react, it communicates. A specific alarm call, acoustically different from every other call it makes throughout the day, containing encoded information about the type of threat, the direction it is coming from, and exactly how dangerous it is. Research by Dr. Christopher Templeton at Pacific University proved that chickadee alarm calls contain specific acoustic elements that vary depending on predator size and speed. The call for a fast aerial hawk is acoustically different from the call for a slow-perched owl. Other birds in your yard receive that specific information and respond to it specifically. By the time you looked up from your phone, the chickadee had already sent the warning. The cardinal had already dropped into cover, and the hawk had already been classified, tracked, and broadcast to every bird within earshot of your yard. You saw none of it. All of it happened. But here is where it gets strange, because the cardinal does not just fly away. It goes somewhere specific, somewhere it chose weeks ago. And the reason it chose that exact spot will tell you something about how your yard has already been mapped without you knowing.
Every bird that regularly visits your yard has already mapped it, not roughly, not generally, precisely. Research on avian spatial memory from the Max Planck Institute for Ornithology has shown that songbirds maintain detailed cognitive maps of their territory, including the location of every food source, water source, escape route, and emergency cover site. That holly bush at the base of your feeder pole, the cardinal has already identified it as its primary emergency cover location. The dense evergreen in the corner of your yard, The chickadee has already mapped the exact branch inside it where its body disappears against the bark pattern. These are not random choices made in the moment of panic. They are pre-selected locations chosen during calm conditions and stored for instant use when 150 milliseconds is all the time available. Your yard has already been divided into zones: feeding zones, exposure zones, cover zones, and escape corridors. The birds move through those zones every single day. You have been watching them navigate a map you did not know existed. And then there is the crow, which does not use any of those zones. Because the crow does not hide from predators. It does something that researchers are still trying to fully explain. The crow does not hide. It mobs. Research from the University of Washington has documented that crows will actively pursue, harass, and drive away predators significantly larger than themselves, including hawks, owls, and eagles. This is not reckless aggression. This is calculated risk assessment. The crow calls loudly, a specific mobbing call that recruits other crows from up to half a mile away. Within minutes, a single hawk that entered your yard quietly is being followed, dive-bombed, and harassed by multiple crows until leaving the territory entirely. The hawk did not leave because it was scared. It left because staying had become more expensive than the meal was worth. And here is what most people spend their entire lives missing. When you hear crows making loud, aggressive calls somewhere in your neighborhood, you are not hearing random bird noise. You are hearing a coordinated security response. A predator has been identified. Its location is being broadcast, and it is being actively removed from the area. Your yard benefits from that response even if the crow doing it is 3 houses away. The surveillance network does not end at your fence line. But here is the part that nobody expects. Your birds have a specific signal that is not meant for other birds at all. It is meant for you, and you have been receiving it your entire life without realizing it.
Your birds have classified you, not as a human, not as a neighbor, not as the person who fills the feeder, as a specific individual with a specific threat rating that affects how every bird in your yard behaves when you are present. Research published in PLOS One studied how birds in suburban yards respond to specific humans they have encountered repeatedly. The results were remarkable. Birds that had regular positive associations with a specific human showed measurably reduced alarm responses when that person approached, compared to strangers entering the same space. The chickadee that flies away when a stranger walks into your yard may stay completely still on its branch when you walk out. Not because it cannot see you, because it has already decided you are not a threat. And you have already been changing your rating without knowing it. Every quiet morning you spent near that window, every time you refilled the feeder without startling the birds, every time you simply existed in their space without threat, was a data point. They have been collecting it. The file on you is already open. Every time a bird stays on its branch as you walk past, every time the cardinal does not flush when you open the back door, every time the chickadee keeps eating while you stand nearby, that is not the bird ignoring you. That is the bird telling every other bird in your yard that you are not a threat. You have been vouched for by a chickadee. But what happens to that rating when you do something wrong? When you move too fast, or bring something unfamiliar into the yard, or appear at an unexpected time? The answer is in your yard right now. And it explains something you have probably noticed but never understood. Your threat rating is not permanent, it resets. Research on avian habituation from Oxford University has shown that birds recalibrate their threat assessment of familiar individuals every single time they appear. You do not get permanent trust. You get evaluated every single time you walk outside. This is why your yard goes silent when you appear with something new, a bag, a tool, a piece of furniture. The birds are not afraid of you. They are afraid of the unknown object attached to you. Your rating is still intact, but the unknown variable temporarily overrides it. And this is why the experienced bird watchers who get cardinals eating from their hand do not do it quickly. They do it by doing the same thing in the same way at the same time every single day until the unknown becomes known, the unpredictable becomes predictable, and the rating goes as low as it can go.
The next time you walk out into your yard, watch the cardinal at the feeder. Does it lift its head and freeze? Or does it keep eating? Watch the chickadee on the branch. Does it pull tight and go still? Or does it stay relaxed? Because in that single moment, Those birds are telling you your threat rate. They are telling you whether weeks and months of quiet, consistent presence have earned you a place inside their surveillance network, or whether you are still being assessed the same way they assess everything else that enters the territory. The yard has always been running this system. The Cardinal was always lifting its head. The Chickadee was always sending signals. The Crow was always broadcasting predator locations across the entire neighborhood. You were always part of the data. You just never knew you were being evaluated inside it. Now you do. Tell me in the comments. Has a hawk ever struck in your yard? Or have you stepped outside and found every bird had vanished with no explanation? What did you see? What species were there? I want every detail. I read every single one. If this changed the way you see the birds going quiet the moment you open your back door, share it with someone who has always wondered why the yard goes still the second they step outside. Accurate Bird Mind. I will see you in the next one.